Welcome to Fire Makes Up for Her Own Mistakes, where I read the Downtime chat, where I left all my character secrets. This is fine. We're just gonna jump into it. And apologies for Ashe's voice starting off. It's not my character. Presuming there is a time when Ashe is alone and writing in her notebook in the fairly open area that is the adventuring hall, Thomas walks up to Ashe and tries to peek at what she's writing. You write more than anyone I've ever seen. What are you writing about? Oh, this is nothing. I have mountains of journals tucked away in my childhood bedroom. Ashe doesn't even remotely try to hide her writings. But what am I writing about? Well, all of my thoughts on the situation, you, the others. The handwriting is a bit sloppy but legible. You can plainly see a few bolded, underlined words from a glance, such as paranoid, curious, and impulsive liar. Thomas raises an eyebrow. But why write? Do you remember everything important you thought of? Thomas grins. Bold of you to assume, I think. I try not to assume anything. Ashe flips back a page or two. You can clearly see your name written at the top. Thomas. She writes underneath it. Doesn't think, apparently, as you watch. Wait, I get my own page? I'm flattered. What exactly do you find of note? You can read for yourself, yes. I don't want to assume, though. Would you prefer I read it aloud to you? Have a story time, perhaps? Ashe's tone carries no condensation. She's completely serious. No, I can read. I just didn't want to read it without asking. You may read your page, then. You will have to ask permission for the other two to read those. She turns the book around to face you, displaying your page, trademarked. Thomas. Doesn't think, apparently. Mark, Infinite Ouroboros. Halfling, in the mob. Has a reputation that causes fear amongst the locals in Rosewood. Oblivious. Impulsive liar. Encounter with death. Business deal gone wrong. Dealer ended up dead. Found himself alone in a barren battlefield. His mother appeared to him. Asked him why he was there. He did not know. The mark of the Infinite Ouroboros appeared on his forearm. Symbolizes rebirth. Dealing with regret, related to how Bast became immortal. Thomas remains straight-faced through it, then hands the book back to her. Who is Bast? He seems to have lost a bit of his jovialness and joking manner. Bast is, funnily enough, the god of felines. My family, generations upon generations ago, found kinship with the efficiency at which various felines could hunt and survive. Our elven ancestors began to worship an appropriate god. Then, as time went on, we took on more appropriate features. My family's not one for gods and goddesses. He pauses and looks extremely uncomfortable. Do you think perhaps you could help me figure this out? Oh, I'm not particularly adherent to any god or goddess, strictly, but Bast worship is a family tradition, and I am a fan of Kuli. But you have a problem, Ashe tilts her head, eyes widening in curiosity. I do enjoy problems. Thomas will finally sit next to her. I don't like asking for help, but I'm not sure I have the, skills for this type of problem. Pauses. Look, clearly you know I've been, less than truthful, and I don't think it's right to ask for your help here without telling you the full story. Yes, your propensity to lie, mixed with your obvious obliviousness, has made you incredibly hard to read. So do tell. I am more than happy to listen. Her reaction is to simply intensify her curiosity, leaning in with a hint of excitement. Thomas furrows his eyebrows a bit. I'm not oblivious. But I did lie about my post-death experiences. I didn't see my mother. Hell, I don't even know the woman. I didn't see anyone I know, actually. I don't know why you all got significantly better afterlives. Well, never mind. A story for a different day. He studies the floor as he talks. I appeared at the chapel with a casket inside and the business partner. He had this on him. Thomas will pull out a pendant from under his suit to show it to her. It is the same symbol as on his arm. Oh, quite a deviation from your original story, Ashe takes her notebook and begins to scribble out numerous lines. A curious scenario indeed, though. Many meanings. The man that died, did he mean anything to you? No, they never do, Thomas says, seeming to stare at his hands. I would prefer you kept this between us. Can I have your word before we continue? While writing very clearly the new information you have delivered to her, she nods. It is your knowledge to share, not mine. Upon completion of the new entry, she closes the book and tucks it away, pulling out a small cube in its place, which she immediately begins to fidget with, twisting and turning and shifting the numerous small pieces it is comprised of. Is there more information I should know? Anything at all that even remotely seemed pertinent? Even if you do not think it important, it could give us insight on the situation. Well, I went to leave the chapel. I found myself hanging from the gallows in a red desert. Made my way to a city where an imp found me at the gate. He said I wasn't dead yet, took me to his office, filled out some paperwork, before I woke up by the fountain. Thomas looks up at Ashe for the first time in the story. He said not to go back to my father. I don't know what to do. My father will kill me if I don't come back home. I want to go home, I do, but maybe if I work this quest, they won't send me back to hell, or at least shorten my sentence. Thomas's shoulders fall. I don't know. I just don't know. You went to hell? Ashe's hands freeze, the small fidget device falling to the floor and clattering into various small pieces. Oh my God, you poor soul. I killed my own sister and all I wound up with was purgatory. Ashe flicked a finger at the seemingly broken fidget toy, causing the pieces to clatter back together and then jump back into her open palm. Thomas, I think what this all means is very obvious. You desperately need to rethink the path you walk. The feline-esque woman placed a hand softly on Thomas's shoulder, speaking calmly but bluntly. You need to kill the part of you that marches headlong into hell. You need to reinvent yourself, or the eternal fire is all you will know, I am afraid. Do you see? Ouroboros, death and rebirth. I can't just leave my family. No one leaves the shadows. Thomas shudders. I can't leave. I can't stay. Is changing even worth it? Thomas looks at her and seems almost broken. The happy facade totally dropped. None, you say? Ashe grins, her gaze digging into you. Well, then we better get to working on making you know one, The ever-present neutral expression that had been on her face now replaced with a Cheshire grin of a mad woman. Thomas, listen. Look, nothing is impossible, and everything is worth it. You find yourself at a loss for options? Make new ones. Trapped in a gapless cage? Carve a hole. We went to rush him. He's everywhere. Ashe, I shouldn't even be talking to you about this, let alone here. He gestures around the adventuring hall. They'll kill me and you and the other two. I made an oath that I'd change. But what is life without family? I think you and I put wildly different levels of stock in the importance of family. Ashe grins quickly fades after saying that, though. Well, I suppose I cannot really say that, given what you know about me and my own family. Once again, she begins to fidget with the cube. If I'm being honest with you, your family seems to be quite a vile influence on you and the immediate world around you. Are you scared to disappoint your family, or are you scared to become another corpse left in your family's wake? Thomas, answer that first. Then I think we can progress from there. Another corpse. Please, I don't matter. The family matters. It's always been the family. Thorn shadow. A rose without thorn loses its protection. I can't just be Thomas. I have a job, a duty. Oh, Thomas, for one so bold and brash, you talk like you have no agency, you poor soul. Even when you get to glimpse the horrendous end of the path your family has put you on, you don't want to deviate? I want to help you, really, but I cannot help someone that clearly doesn't even want to help themselves. She stares at Thomas intently. Be honest with me. Are you scared of disappointing your family, or scared of what family would do to you if you failed them? There's a big difference in that. Thomas meets her eyes and sighs. I can't let them down. Why, Thomas? Tell me why you can't. I can't leave my sister. Ashe throws her arms up, sighing. Thank you. See, progress can be made now. After taking a moment to recollect herself. So many damsels in distress with this little group, and 2 different sisters. Anyway. Let me make sure I understand. Yes, you are scared of your family, scared of your fate after death, and scared for your sister. Thomas tries to throw back on his confident mask. I do believe that sums it up. Now then, imagine what the best outcome would be. What does that look like to you? My sister safe and free. I don't want her in this position. Then make it happen. Ashe turns to him, grabbing his shoulders firmly. You are in control of your life, not a god, not your family, not even death itself. You dictate how you live your life. And we can all do our best to dictate how we die our deaths. So do your best and make it happen, no matter who or what tries to stop you. Otherwise, what is the point of doing anything? She releases Thomas from her grip and returns to idly fidgeting with the cube toy again. I'm sure there are boons waiting for us as we uncover this death debacle. Use those to your advantage. Thomas sits silent for a moment. Thank you, Ashe. And I suppose I should introduce myself properly. My name is Thorn Shadow. He extends a hand, although I think it's best to continue using Thomas. She raises an eyebrow, glancing between the outreached hand and Thomas's face. Thorn Shadow. Still, she awkwardly shakes. Right. In all honesty, I think I would continue to call you Thomas regardless, for your sake more than anything. However, the more about your family you are willing to tell me, the more I am sure I can conjure up plans and contingencies. And I will say, if we all know what to possibly expect as retribution from this family of yours, the better off you and the rest of us will be. Consider sharing more with the other 2, is what I am saying. Yeah, Thorn Shadow, it's a plant name thing. My father is Brush Shadow, I think you heard about him. I will consider talking to the other 2. I'm not a big truster. My apologies for dumping this on you. He stands up. Oh, also my family is likely just murder you 3 and drag me home, where they may then murder me. No, I encourage honesty among us. Like I said, we can't all operate at optimal efficiency if we do not know who or what it is we are working with. Still sitting, and now eye level with Thomas, Ashe smiles warmly. If you need tips on how to defend yourself against your own family so far, I think I have the best track record in that department. A joke. A morbid one, but still a joke. Perhaps you help me with my family and I teach you comedy. Appreciative, but honestly I don't mind my lack of people skills. She waves her hand dismissively. I'll help you with your sister and you help me with mine. How about that? I will consider it a deal. And that is the end of that scene. Woo!